underground and begun using a different name. We have reason to believe he now leads one of the two main factions operating within the city. You are to find Suleiman and locate the stolen file in order to save mankind from a disaster of unprecedented proportions.
Strong men create golden times. Golden times create weak men. Weak men create times of strife, and times of strife create strong men. True leaders emerge whenever they are needed most, not wanted. And often are those very men and women who would never have asked to become a leader. People have obtained this jaded idea that leaders are appointed by others through democratic methods or imperialistic selections. This idea is flawed, but growing societies have fostered times of weakness in men. Nearly everything is on tap now, and strength just isn't necessary. Leadership is defined as the action of leading a group of people or organization. Here are my thoughts on leadership. I don't disagree with this definition, but I have stipulations to add to it because I feel that this definition allows for what I call shitty leadership. Leadership comes in many different forms, and one can't simply say that it is or isn't something that someone possesses the ability to do. People lead in many different ways. For instance, Crane here leads through action. He leads by being on the front lines and attempting to do as much as he can without allowing others to fall into a position where they are in danger, as he so commonly is himself. Crane also doesn't start off as a leader in the game. Rather, he develops leadership skills throughout the game and becomes a great man due to the situations that he is thrust into and the losses that he endures. Rice, on the other hand, is a totalitarian and brutal leader, utilizing tactics of fear to keep followers in check, and very seldom utilizing his combat skills in the way of helping his men. I think this is the biggest difference between a good leader and a bad one. Does he or she lead from the front or the rear?
Oh shit, Amir's hurt?
No, Amir is gone. But I'm bringing in someone who might still survive.
One of us?
We'll see.
Proper leadership is arguably one of the most important traits a man of leadership must have. It allows for concise action by the people and hopefully a trust in the leader that would have those beneath him dying for him if they need to. Usually, good leaders have the utmost respect of those following their ideals, and it could even be said that true leaders don't lead from a top-down perspective, rather a democratic one, where their word is final, but they consider every opinion before action. Every relationship is founded on communication, compassion, and cooperation. Leaders need those things from their followers just as much as a spouse or a friend needs them from their relative party. It takes a lot to be a great leader. Confidence, wit, strength, reserve, resolve, faith in oneself and in one's people. But most notably, it takes having a caring heart that strives for a better situation. What I do for a better tomorrow are wise words that leaders should often speak, and those following them should be able to trust that they are spoken from a place of truth. Leaders should have the confidence in themselves to make decisions unilaterally and the resolve to commit to their decisions even in the face of public outcry. We've come so far, ladies and gentlemen, we can't turn back now. I'm going all the way. Are you with me? A true leader should be able to say these things whenever things look tough, and know that he planted the seeds to hear unanimous cries of valor and motivation in those he stands for. True leaders should have the strength to do things for their people without seeking public praise, but never without the necessity of public approval once it's all said and done. As a leader, you are responsible for the wants and needs of your pack, and it is your duty to uphold them or lose the status of greatness that comes with being a true leader. How can I help others become great leaders? A simple answer? You can't really. The complicated and convoluted answer? Lead. People want to be around leaders, and good people will learn from you as you lead. Those closest to you will ask you questions, pry into your brain, and position themselves to become leaders in the event that you step down or become incapable of leadership. True leaders are not appointed. However, So even if they are true leaders, the respect of the people is often hidden behind actions in a dire time. This, of course, is not an absolute truth, for many great leaders are appointed, but the natural method leaves little room for terrible leaders. One cannot know the motivations of another person, but actions speak far more for a person than words. Many leaders in our modern anorexic system of leadership are appointed, and apparently by the people. I would argue that they are selected by other shite leaders, but I'm not here to argue politics today. Either way you flip this coin, our world leaders are not doing what the majority of the people will benefit from. So, we have an issue of weak men leading us.
About to recover an antizin drop.
Good, Crane. This offers us a new strategy. Time to turn your attention to Rise. Listen closely. It's very possible that Rise is our man. So if you find an airdrop containing antizin, destroy it.
What? Why?
It will force interaction with Rise. You can go under Brecken's auspices as an ambassador, if you will.
But there are civilians depending on this stuff.
Our plan is focused on the greater good. Remember that.
Well, why don't you lead, then? I can admit totally that I am no leader in many ways, but more an advisor in most, I think. One might argue that this is a form of leadership, but I could never lead in a real-life scenario. I'm not quick enough to make decisions, and I am far too loyal to those I invest in. I would make a mistake for the many in the name of a few, or simply make a dumb decision and have myself hurt or killed. But I do understand that it takes a specific skill set to lead that these men and women of power do not possess as a group any longer. This is on set for much of the same reason that bosses often suck. Bosses are appointed by bosses, and relationships play a major role in controlled circumstances. But when shit gets wild, that is when you find out who is really fit to lead. You can't have a terrible leader when your group of people care about the lives of the many, and they strive to maintain a fair and relatively peaceful environment in a world of chaos. Awful leaders arise whenever there is more fear to be passed around than love. I read once that a bunch of people had been asked why they quit the jobs they had in life, and marginally speaking, the greatest answer was shitty management. People don't quit jobs, they quit bosses. If you will walk through fire for those that follow you, they will follow you to hell and back. Lead from the front and you will have an army behind you someday if you simply carve your path through whatever you need to. Most people take the path of least resistance. Will you make them one? Thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy. Be sure to show anyone who might do well to see it, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more.
How long have we been friends, Osman? We have been friends for a very long time. That is why I'm so surprised that you would steal from me.
Haven't I seen you somewhere before?
Now I give you a choice. Very simple. Your right hand or your left? Left. Was that my left or your left?
Also, it has come to my attention that you won't be notified of my new uploads unless you click the bell. So click the bell. Let's grow together with knowledge, ideas, and fun.
You have the look of the tower about you. What do you want?
I'm here to make a deal.
A deal. For antizin, no doubt. Desperate times. And what do you offer in return? Your services? Your loyalty? Perhaps I should take both.
Talk to Karim. He's one of ours. Do what he asks of you, and Rise will consider giving your people some antizin. Understood?
I don't seem to have a choice.
Perceptive.